Thank you very much. Thank you. I need help. Good evening and welcome to the May 7th legislative meeting of York City Council. We will open the floor to public comment on non-agenda items only. And first, we're going to call Franklin Williams. When you approach, please use the microphone and state your name.
I've been here before. And I am still Franklin Williams, and I am still at 528 West Market Street. And I have been asked to be brief. The last time I heard that line was from Sir Thomas More, but it was just before he was going to lose his head. I don't think I have to worry about that. And his line was, "The king has asked me to be brief." I'll try, I always do. It's a good thing I circled the block, because doing so, I realized I have one less thing to get off my chest, so to speak, because Public Works, or somebody working for them, has done a beautiful job, as usual, resurfacing the first block of north and the first block of south. I presume they did the whole block, from King to Market, and from Market to Philadelphia Street. They did my alley. I don't recall if I mentioned this or not, but they did my alley sometime along about August or September of last year. Most beautiful alley in the city. Now they can go up and down that alley at 70 instead of 20. Wonderful. Anyway, I turned in the sheet because I would like a response. I think we could do better. We spend enough on telecommunications and internet and IT and all that. As you probably know, the first Saturday of every month, excepting January and February, Public Works keeps Memorial Stadium yard waste facility open from 10 to 2, and it always says, weather permitting. And of the 10 months that it will probably be open, at least 2 or 3 of them are raining cats and dogs, and you know it isn't going to be open. And another 2 or 3 months, maybe 4, it's bright blue, beautiful skies and no chance of precip of any kind, and you know they are going to be open. And then there's like the other day, when it's anybody's guess. Will they be there or won't they? Now, I went from a full-size van to an old station wagon to a Honda Civic. I can still carry some yard waste, but it's a job. And I just decided I wasn't going to take a chance on having to load it, take it over, bring it back, unload it. I'd be happy to work with them. There must be some better way. I understand they Pennsylvania weather being what it is, they can't make the call on Wednesday or Thursday. Sometimes it won't even be clear on Friday. But somehow, those of us who don't live right within 3 or 4 blocks of Memorial Stadium should not have to load up or else drive over there empty. And if they're there, you know, I think you understand where I'm coming from on that. I did not expect to I think it'll be up to you, Madam Vice President, how tightly you want to enforce the rule about non-agenda items. I actually have a couple of quick comments to make about the zoning overlay proposal.
I'm going to wait until,
I'm sorry?
I'm going to abide by the rule that this is non-agenda items only right now.
It's what is on the agenda is a resolution to schedule a public hearing.
I'm aware of that, so we're going to talk about that later.
So, comments about the proposal itself?
We will discuss it when it comes up on the agenda, item number 11. Thanks.
Be happy to. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Franklin. And we will pass your concerns on about Memorial Stadium and the drop-off closures to the administration. Thank you. And next we have, for public comment, we have Marie Rollator.
Marie Rollator, 200 North Duke Street, and you know I walk. Mm-hmm. I have a friend that lives on the 900 block of East Philadelphia. Something absolutely needs to be done about the light on the corner of Albemarle and Philadelphia. If I get off the bus and try to cross the street, I have to get off the curb immediately when it turns green. And sometimes I don't get all the way across. And I'm not that slow. But also, that is a school crossing for Tidings of Peace Christian School, which is on Ebbets Lane. So the children walk along Walnut, I think, or Wallace, to Albemarle and cross there. And you know how school children are, fooling around, and that light is just impossible. When I'm at my friend's house, come out the front door, wait on the curb till the light turns red, walk around the car to get in the car, and a lot of the times, traffic is flying at me before I get the car door closed. Last week was, I don't know, the 4th or 5th accident on that block. This time a truck was pushed onto the sidewalk and almost into the house. My friend's car, when it's parked in front of his house, has been hit 4 times in the last 6 months, maybe. And I know other people who live on that block, and it's the same thing. Why that is a problem, I don't know, because the block before the 1000 block is not a problem. It's a 900 block. And I don't want to see one of the children hit by a car because of the light. That's just something that can be taken care of.
Thank you for sharing that concern, and we will forward your concerns to the proper department and the administration.
Thank you.
Yes. Are there any other persons with public comment who did not put a form in? Okay. That said, I will call the legislative meeting to order at 6:10 PM. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll?
Here. John Askew.
Here.
Dennis. Here. Buckingham.
Here. Thank you. I invite all who are able to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, and followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next, we will take action on the previous minutes of meetings on April 16th, legislative meeting, and April 24th, committee meeting. Are there any corrections or additions from council?
None. None.
That being said, all in favor of approving the minutes as presented, please respond aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And that carries. Thank you. We have no presentations, awards, or announcements, do we? Thank you. The meetings that are scheduled, we have a legislative meeting that is scheduled on Tuesday, May 21st, 2024 at 6 p.m. in council chambers. Agenda items are due by 12 noon on May 15th. And we have the council committee meeting scheduled for Wednesday, May 29th at 6 p.m. in council chambers. Agenda items for that are due by 12 noon on May 22nd. For the status of prior committee referrals, please refer to the minutes from the April 24th committee meeting, and they can be found on the city website on the city council page. We will now, excuse me, you're coughing and I keep thinking you're talking.
I just called.
You know. We will now move on to the legislative agenda. We will begin with the final passage of bills and resolutions. We first have final passage of Bill number 12, approving the inclusion of 2023 ordinances as part of the codified ordinance.
Is there a motion to approve?
Move for a vote?
Move to approve.
Yes, she was all right.
To approve.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll second.
And that was Bill number 12, which was introduced by Elizabeth Buck at the April meeting of council. Is approving the 2023 ordinances as part of the codified ordinances.
Are there any comments from council?
None.
Are there any comments from administration? Any comments from public? Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Buck.
Yes.
John Askew.
Yes.
Dennis.
Yes.
Buckingham.
Yes. And the final passage of Bill number 13, amending the 2024 budget by appropriating expenditures from the American Rescue Plan funds for Crispus Attucks to support the Career Focus Institute in the amount of $100,000.
Move for a vote. Second.
Are there any comments from council?
None.
Any comments from administration? Any comments from the public? Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Buck.
Yes.
John Askew.
Yes.
Dennis.
Yes.
Buckingham.
Yes. And that passes. Thank you. Next, we have the introduction of bills, and these will sit until our 5/21 legislative meeting. They are being introduced only. So first, we have the introduction of bill number, I guess this is 14?
Yep.
Bill number 14, establishing Article 702, unlawful manufacture of firearms of the codified ordinances.
So introduced.
And that will sit until the we don't have discussion, do we?
No.
Okay, that will sit until May 21st. Next, we have Bill number 15, introduction amending the fiscal year 2024 budget, $250 from ARPA funds for grant development, administration, and management consulting services. So introduced. And that will sit again, as I said, till 5/21. Next, introduction of Bill number 16, amending the fiscal year 2024 budget for $167,601 from ARPA funds for an upgrade of the camera system at the police station. And I will introduce that on behalf of Edwina Washington. That will sit until May 21st. Next, we have the introduction of Bill number 17, amending the fiscal year 2024 budget in the amount of $425,362 from ARPA funds for Friends and Neighbors, Beacon Day Shelter, and Resource Center. And I will introduce that again on behalf of Edwina Washington. It will sit until our next legislative meeting, May 21st. Next, introduction of Bill number 18, amending the fiscal year 2024 budget in the amount of $500,000 from ARPA funds for Community Progress Council's Integrated Services Building. I am introducing that on behalf of Edwina Washington. Again, that will sit. And introduction of Bill number 19, amending fiscal year 2024 budget in the amount of $125,000 for a physician medical director. I will introduce that on behalf of Edwina Washington. And again, that will sit until May 21st. Next, we have a resolution, and I do not know what number that is.
That will be resolution number, hold on a second.
For
Number
Harb.
37.
30. In new business, we introduced resolution number 37, accepting the recommendations of Harb.
So introduced.
That is resolution number 37, introduced by, I don't know if everybody can hear me. Introduced by Dennis. Council hereby approves the recommendations of Harb in issuing certificates of appropriateness for work to be done in the applications filed for 109 East Market Street. I see there's a typo in Market, I'll correct that. 322 East King Street and 200 West Market Street.
Was that seconded? Do we have a
No,
second?
she needs
I didn't move to approve.
Yeah.
Sorry. Move to approve.
Second.
Are there any comments from council?
No.
Are there any comments from administration?
Betsy, before we
Oh,
do,
just-
I'm sorry, I do have, yep, one comment from, about the Harb items. There was one property on there that, the Harb is giving them approval. Sorry, I'm just looking for the page. It's on East King Street, and it has not been approved for the conversion to a multi-unit, and I wanted to, I don't know if I'm able to call that one out specifically compared to the other recommendations. I need some help with figuring out the right words to say, but case number 2, I don't think that should move forward because it doesn't have,
322 East King Street.
well, they want to put windows, but the discussion also says they are going to convert to a multi-unit, but they don't have zoning approval yet.
So Harb's role in jurisdiction is only regarding the upgrades to the building. So if separate zoning is necessary, That's separate from what you guys are would be acting on today and what HARB can do. So the discussion, is if you're going to do this particular use, you need zoning approval, but that's separate from what HARB does.
That's a good point.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. So I will
Thank
retract
you.
that, but just go on the record that the discussion requires that they get zoning approval too. So,
Are there any comments from the public? Madam Clerk, will you call the roll?
All in favor, yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Okay.
That carries. Next, we have resolution number 38, appointing and reappointing members to various boards.
So introduced.
Resolution number 38, introduced by Terry Jonescu. Be it resolved that council hereby approves the following appointments as recommended by the mayor. The reappointment of James Crosby as a member of the Housing Board, which term shall expire April 1st, 2029. Reappointment of Kendall Menzer to the Housing Authority Board with a term to expire April 1st, 2029. The reappointment of Phil Burdell as a member of the General Authority, which term shall expire January 1st, 2029. And the appointment of Jason Phillips as a member of the York City Human Relations Commission to fill the unexpired term of Jada Richardson, which term shall expire July 16th, 2024.
Are there any comments from council?
No.
Nope. Administration? Any comments from the public? Madam Clerk?
I'll move for a vote.
Second.
Give me 1 second here. All in favor, say yes.
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 Opposed, no.
And that carries. Thank you. Next, we have resolution number 39, authorizing advertisement of a public hearing for the residential redevelopment overlay.
But you don't want that introduced, right? You want to pull that?
Right. And I'm not sure if this is the appropriate time, but I would move that we put this back in committee for further discussion.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor of having this sent back to committee, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no.
And that carries. Okay, moving on to new business items for consideration of a consent agenda. Is there a motion to consider items 12 through 19 for a consent agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
You can second.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
no.
We can't hear you.
Can I make comment on any of these at any?
Oh, absolutely. That will come up next, yes, and we can
Okay.
pull some of them too.
Okay.
Okay, so let's repeat that. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so that carries. Are there any items council would like to remove from the consent agenda of items 12 through 19? I'll give you a couple of minutes to look at that to see.
None.
No.
16 and 17, and
Okay.
yeah, we'll try that.
You want to pull that? Okay. You know you can comment on them without them being pulled. You may still pull them. I don't want to, you may still pull them. I just wanted to make sure
If
you
I
understood.
pull them, we just does it open up to more conversation or no?
It opens up the conversation either way.
Yeah,
right?
either way. Because my next question is going to be, are there, that you would like to comment on?
So what she's saying, you don't have to pull it in order to make comment on it. But if you want to pull it, that's totally up to you.
Absolutely.
Let's try it.
If we
I'll
pull it,
pull,
I'll read the thing, I'll read the thing. That's pretty much what
The difference.
what it is. I'll read it, yeah. I don't have to read it if you pull it. I mean, if you
if I don't pull it. Pull.
It's up to
I
you,
hate to make you have to read it.
whatever you want to do.
Okay, well, let's try 16 and 17. I'll pull.
Okay, all right, so we will pull items 16 and 17. So now, I think I move forward with comments on the other items.
Is there any comment?
Yep, are there any comments on items 12 through 15 and 18 and 19 from council?
None.
None.
No.
Nope.
Does the administration have any comments on items 12 through 15, 18, and 19?
No, thank you.
Are there any comments from the public on items 12 through 15, 18, or 19? Hearing none. May I have a motion to approve items 12 through 15, 18, and 19?
Move to approve?
Second.
Madam Clerk?
All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Opposed, no.
And those items carry, thank you. So let me just do my numbering very quickly. So, next we're going to address resolution number 44, authorizing a grant application through COPS hiring program.
Actually be 30, that will actually be resolution number 43. That's number 16,
16.
probably.
So that's 39. Oh, we're not counting that one.
Which one?
That is 39.
The one that, right.
So that went, okay, thank you. Excuse me. That would be item number 43.
Right. And is that introduced?
So introduced.
Resolution number 43, introduced by Felicia Dennis. Whereas the York City Police Department is looking to apply for the 2024 Community Oriented Services COPS hiring program associated with the U.S. Department of Justice on June 12th. And whereas the amount of the grant requested is $1 million with a 25% match required of $250,000, which will be utilized to hire 8 new police officers for a 3-year period. And whereas a match waiver will be requested upon application but not guaranteed. And whereas the city will be responsible to reimburse the U.S. Department of Justice for any expenditures found to be ineligible. And whereas now therefore be it resolved that the York City Police Department hereby requests approval of their grant for application for $1 million with a 25% match.
Are there any comments from council?
Thank you, yes, I just wanted everyone, well, I did a little research because I took the $1,250,000 and I divided that by 8 police officers over 3 years, and that came up to about $42,000 per year as a salary. So I said to myself, that is not going to cover an officer per year. So I went to the COPS grant requirements, and I just thought it was important or instructive to share that this grant is not, it will cover up to 75% of an officer's salary. So when we say we're doing this COPS grant for 1.25 and for 8 officers for 3 years, I don't want people to think that it's 100% is covering 100% of the cost of those officers. We will have to make that up from the budget somewhere else, because there is a maximum that this grant allows, which is actually $125,000 over 3 years per officer. And that's the 42,000. And we know that that doesn't cover 100% of the salary. And I just wanted people to understand that, and that was my comment. Thank you. I think it's great we are going for grants to cover salaries, so I hope we win it, and thank you.
Any other comments from council?
None?
Comments from administration?
No, just that's understandable at this point. We're just trying to see if we can even get the money. So at that point, when we would get the award, it would have to come to council in order to accept the award and/or amend the budget if need be, to even accept the award to the budget. So there's plenty of steps along the way that the department and myself will be able to have to justify that we're covering all the costs.
Right, so this resolution only gives our approval for applying for the grant and providing the match.
Correct.
Thank you. Thank you. Are there any comments from the public? Madam Clerk?
Okay, it was read and came up for discussion. It was introduced. I don't think we got a motion. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no.
And that carries. And next we have resolution number 44, authorizing an agreement with General Recreation Incorporated for the installation of a pocket park outdoor waiting area in front of the police station in the amount of $71,150.25.
And who's introducing it? Okay.
So introduced.
Resolution number 44, introduced by Felicia Dennis. Whereas the police department has received donations and grants to fund the installation of a pocket park outdoor waiting area in front of the police station, and whereas the city received a proposal through the Pennsylvania CoStarz vendor, General Recreation, in the amount of $71,150.25 for the equipment and supplies needed for this build. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and the controller are authorized to execute documents with General Recreation for same.
Are there any comments from council?
None.
Yes, Bitsy, thank you. We did get $40,000 as a donation toward the pocket park. We're all in support of the pocket park. This $71,000 is for materials, equipment, and supplies. But as I read the purchase order, it does note that the pricing does not include certain installation, certain concrete footers, certain border systems, security, et cetera, extra costs that I'm not familiar with. So I was curious if we have a total cost for this pocket park, number one, and number two, I think we thought that that construction had started in front of the police department, but I heard that was for a memorial that was previously approved. So since there appear to be memorials on both sides of the front entrance, I was curious if the administration can say where this is going to be located, which piece of land. So
On the other side from where they're putting the memorial in at the moment.
I noticed a memorial on the other side as well.
No, there's the statue of the former mayor, but that's going to be, either it's not going to be in the way or it's going to be moved. But
Okay.
It's all bushes back up against the building there at the moment. And to answer your question about the additional costs, it's my understanding that we're going to cover those, we're going to cover that manpower internally. Our Public Works Department is very familiar with putting these playgrounds together. They do park builds all the time. So they're able to cover that manpower involved with that. And any additional costs would just be associated as part of their current budgets that they have for concrete or whatever it might be.
Okay,
Does that answer your question?
it does.
Are
Thank
there
you.
any questions or comments from the public?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor of approving, say yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Opposed, no.
and that carries. There are no requests for future meetings. Are there any additional council comment?
Great job
Yes.
tonight, Betsy.
Go ahead.
Thank you, it's fun.
I do
Councilwoman
actually
Betsy.
have a little bit.
Yes.
I have a little council comment. And it's a thank you to the team that ran the Give Local York, specifically Kate Harmon, Megan Given, Phil Given, Matthew Davis, Karen Swartz. They did a great job. Oh, JJ Sheffer. They did a great job Thursday into Friday. Raised a record $5+ million for 300+ nonprofits locally to York County. And they also have a website set up in case you missed the opportunity to give on that day. And you can go to gly365.org. Thank you.
I just was going to finish my comment.
I'm sorry.
I wanted to say, great job, Betsy, tonight for filling in for President Washington. You're the Vice President, so you did an excellent job tonight. So it's nice to just say thank you for serving on tonight.
Thank you. President Washington has a great family celebration this evening, so that couldn't be missed.
That's right.
Any administration comment?
No, I just want to let you know that Dave Rudolph, as always, is watching, and he is going to look into the light situation that was brought up earlier to check the timing on it for you.
Great, great. Thank you. Are there any other public comments? Yes, ma'am. Please come to the podium and state your name and your city address.
I'm Mina Edmondson. I am a resident in the city of York, and I was just wanting to thank the council for the appointment of Jason Phillips to the HRC. I am a commissioner on the Human Relations Commission, and I appreciate the filling of that position. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for sharing your support. No other comments? We will adjourn this meeting at 6:37 p.m. Thank you.